live and direct, changing the world one person at a time. This is the Permission Pools Rough Draft. And if I had to be completely honest about what happened today, is today was the first day of the permission pools and nobody showed up. And I can't be mad at anybody else other than myself. I can't blame anybody else other than myself. I'm actually not surprised. And to be honest, this is the beginning. And the energy that I put towards marketing it and get people in it hasn't reciprocated. So that's exactly the reason why we're where we are today. Just like the Jungle Polyfit yesterday, nobody was there. But you know what? This is where we start. And you know what? It's good because I didn't know I was going to facilitate that yesterday, the Polyfit. And I went out 6 a.m. cold as shit. And I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, to run my first event there. And now doing the permission pools, same thing here. And so that being the case, first off, before we get to talking more, yes, sir, you guys know what's coming. You guys know the Pink Power Ranger suit's here. I probably should have talked that rah rah beforehand, to be honest. We're probably going to do it again. We're probably going to do that whole thing again because I gotta I gotta cut shit up for content wise in general for the world to see. So we might just run that back for sure. And my feet smell crazy, dog. I've ordered some new socks, but I need some new socks, and these boots are crazy. And you're like, why are you getting in a pink Power Ranger suit? Why are you doing this? What are you doing? What is going on? And where are you right now? Well, let's talk about it. Uh, I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna fucking process this, and it's still dirty from. Oh shit! Someone just opened the door next to me. It's still dirty from from the jungle polyfit from yesterday. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Hold up, hold up, hold up. And you know what we got to put on. And you're like, why are you doing all this? Well, let's explain. One sec. I can't see without my glasses. The glasses is probably a crazy look. That shit probably crazy. Hold up. I gotta see how this looks right now. Okay, we're back. If someone walks in, sees this, it's be insane. How do we find ourselves here? How do we find ourselves here? All right. The glasses is a crazy look right now, but fuck it. I don't have my contacts on right now, but this shit does look crazy. The glasses are crazy look. But that being said, we're gonna run the first permission pools right now. I gotta fucking stress this out. I should be hitting my mouth crazy. Pause. And two, I don't want to hold this the whole time because I want to speak with my hands. I think my glasses are getting fogged up. Okay, okay. Hold on, let's make this a little bit bigger. Sorry, we're trying to get ourselves situated right now. That was a big reveal, right? That was a big cool reveal. We might explain all that again. I just explained beforehand. Fuck it. Oh yeah, we're in there, like swimwear. All right. This shit probably looks crazy. What's good? Is your boy Jungle J, how to read live and direct. Change one person at a time. We're starting from there. Fuck it. And why are we in a pink Power Ranger suit? And there's whiteboards, and I'm in front of a laptop. I'm in the cut. Where am I? Well, first off, we're doing the first session of the permission pools right now. I feel kind of crazy. I feel kind of scrunched in. My legs not spread. There we go. I feel. But that being the case, we're at Georgia State University Library, Law's Library. It's public until 5 o'clock. So that being the case, we're running the first permission pools right here, right now, live and direct. Let's go. I can't be too loud. I can be loud enough, but y'all can hear me because I have my microphone on. But yeah, and this actually isn't 9:30 a.m. when it started. It's actually 3 o'clock right now, to be completely transparent. And no one showed up at my 9:30 a.m. The first permission pool, no one showed up. And no one showed up yesterday to the Jungle Polyfit at 6 a.m. And you know what? I can't be mad at anybody else other than myself. And I'm not even mad, because the energy that I put towards it and the marketing that I could have done for it, and in general, this is all new. I know this is just the beginning, and humble beginnings, shit. But I know that I am going to be doing this as if there are millions of people watching, just like I did yesterday at 6 a.m. cold as shit in the middle of the most biggest park in Atlanta. A million people are watching, because the one day that was to be true. And people will ask, how did he get the confidence, and how did he do the thing? Well, maybe because I slept on a fucking tarp for 241 days to build a different attachment to what's true to me, and to have to have the money, time, and energy to do this, and to have the opportunity to go all in on my passions, my dreams, and keep that shit alive. And people don't understand that, and they don't have to understand that, because it's none of my fucking business whether they do or don't. What is part of my business is the people that are seeing the vision and seeing the energy and what's put towards it, and me being able to follow through with that, and those people. Other than that, you can't be mad, because they haven't walked down the same path as that I'm walking down, because I'm creating this shit all on my own. I'm creating this path all in my own space. And so if the path was clear, then somebody else, then I'll probably be on someone else's path. And right now, it's every day me feeling like I'm about to step off a ledge, and next thing you know, I'm stepping off a ledge, and then boom, another bridge catches me. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, we're starting day one of the permission pools and how it's going to go about. I'm going to start talking in that direction as if it was live, and make that work. So that being the case, we would be in front of a camera, which is my Zoom call right here, and getting after it. So this is how we started off. Everyone joins, and then it begins now. Welcome to the permission pools, where your truth gets naked and your soul takes a motherfucking swim. Where your truth gets naked and it takes a motherfucking swim. You got that fucking right. And what is this about, and why are we here? Well, first off, everyone on the Zoom call, I need you to put in I need to put in how activated you feel right now. What's your vibration? What's the vibes? Not on some how are you autopilot shit. On some, this is who I am, and this is how I'm vibing right now. All right. People put in X, Y, and Z, how they feel, how they feel. I react to it, joke around with them, do the crowd work like I did at Temptation. All right, cool. Then they do that. And then after that, I'll say, all right, you probably have so many questions of why I have a ski mask and pink Power Ranger suit, but we'll get there. But first, I need you to repeat after me. Can I get a hey yo? Okay, they give me some weak ass shit, and I say, okay. I didn't just start modeling naked to and then go on Naked and Afraid of Love naked for the whole world to see. To then try to find love and get my heart shredded on national television. To and then me work at a topless only resort where I'm dancing on a bar half naked for 2 years for $33 a day and running around naked for and then to make my life's work to make sure every day of my life I can be naked. Not just naked physically and sexually, but in every state of being. Whether it be emotionally or spiritually naked or mentally naked or financially naked or politically naked or make it with my persona, which is what everyone else sees, and also make it with my personality, which is my inner reality. That's what this is. And you're like, where are you going? I'm like, no. I didn't just do all of that to and then liberate, educate, and entertain the polyamorous space to and then create this space here for y'all to give me that weak ass shit. Okay? So we're gonna try this again. And if you don't bring some motherfucking energy, I'm going to delete this space and I'll take all the Viagra out the air. There'll be no energy. There'll be no fucking for none of y'all tonight. It's like, nah. I'm gonna try this again. And we need to fucking get after it, all right? Can I get a hey yo? They say hey yo. Can I get a booyah? They say booyah. Can I get a rrrr? All right. Can I get a rrrr? All right. Let's fucking get after it. Let's go. That's what I'm fucking talking about. Okay. Like I said, this is the permission pools. This is not a therapy session. This is not a this is not a therapy session. This is for damn sure ain't a fucking coaching. But you know what this is? This is a sacred co-working realm of a temple where we're here to get activated on our curiosity, on our willingness, on our patience, on our presence, on our honesty, and overall our permission, right? And you're like, what? Okay, what is it called? Permission, the art of permission. What is that? Well, a lot of why is it called permission pools? Like, what does that mean? Well, it's interesting because a lot of us think we need to have the permission to have someone else give us that permission to feel, to think, to do things, to be, to connect, and love differently. I'm gonna say that one more time. People think that we need to be given the permission to love differently. And you know what? It was interesting is before, hold up, I might actually, let's see, hold up. I can't do it anyways. I was gonna say, all right, fuck it. You know, before I actually created these spaces, that's how I felt. I felt like I needed to have the permission to speak about polyamory. I need to be given it before I created this environment, this ecosystem, and this space in general. And, you know, I'm here to say fuck that. We're here to say fuck that. We're to say that we're going to give ourselves the permission to do that. That's what you're here to do, is give the permission to yourself to do the direction that's right for you. That's what this shit's about. And so, that being the case, give yourself the permission today to to feel, to think, to connect, to love differently in whatever ways right for you. That's the art that we're creating. All right. And to give a little context of like where this even came from is understanding this space, the permission pools, was invented and created through spiritual work and inspired by a man named Eric Godsey. And Eric Godsey, some people call him a guru, some people call him a coach. But what's interesting is when I first saw him, before I actually got introduced to him, I saw him on a reel at a darkness retreat because I was trying to do a darkness retreat. And there's only one in Oregon that, there's only one in Oregon that's booked out for like 2-3 years. It's fucking crazy. And I saw his expression there, and it was just timeless. It was timeless, and it left me speechless. And I saw and all the reactions that they do there is that. And I didn't see him for like another few months until my friend invited me to his Mentally Fit course, which is a spiritual boot camp, which is like it's really disguised as like a 9 to 11 week online course. But I got introduced to him in that direction, and in his class that I took with him, I felt the authenticity. I felt connected within this whole spectrum. It was crazy because it's hard in this spiritual space for you to find a spiritual practitioner or leader that isn't trying to leverage themselves to get something from you, or someone that feels like there's like an imbalance of power in the dynamics. And I didn't feel like that with him. I felt like he was my friend. And I still haven't met him yet. And even in the Mentally Fit course, I only needed I was only in it 6 to 7 weeks, and then I ended up not doing the rest because I feel like I got everything I needed out of it in that moment. And I needed to put my focus and attention on elsewhere at the time, but I already had made the payment for it regardless, I need to put my attention elsewhere. But I only needed 6 to 7 weeks in that course for me to realize what was really important. And what's cool about how this even got created was because we were doing these things called the Dharma sprints, and these Dharma sprints were Dharma artifacts that he made. So one of the Dharma artifacts he made was the Mentally Fit course. One of the Dharma artifacts he made was the Dharma sprints. And I think before I get into talking about Dharma sprints, I think I need to talk about what Dharma is. Dharma is if you understand Dharma as not a destination, but a direction. It is, think of it more as what I say, giving the opportunity to give my spirit the best lane possible. If I had to really condense that down, is the lane that my spirit drives the best in is what I meant. And it's the horizon that feels the most meaningful. That's your Dharma, right? That's your purpose. That's within you of what you create the most and best work from. And his direction was, we're not here to retire. We're here to work on a forever vocation. And that's exactly what we did in the Dharma sprints. And everyone in those Dharma sprints was not getting to the same destination, but we were all working in the same direction in our Dharma. So 80 to 90 people together, feeling and working through their internal dialogue and their work, and it felt like we were all just communally getting after it together, tribe shit. And I was like, I want to create this. And so that's what this is. That's what the permission pools is. It's more in a relational direction than a spiritual direction. But that's what I had the opportunity to be a part of. And so if you want more of a spiritual direction, go to Dharma Artist Collective. Go fuck with my man, Eric. That's my dog. Even though we don't really know each other that well, we just know each other from class and him coaching and being the guru and coaching, which really just felt like a dude that was educated, willing to help anybody within their vocation. That's for you. And so now that's why we're here, is because I'm working on my Dharma artifact, the permission pools, Fight the Stigma Tour, the Jungle Polyfit, the Modern Jungle Podcast, #1 naked polyamorous podcast in the world. Jungle Polyfit's the workout socials. And also the Jungle Circles, which is once a week, which is debating and learning the language of love. And it's monogamous people are allowed in, polyamorous people are in, as long as it's polyamorous centered, but it's not just for the non-monogamous world, it's for monogamous people allowed in as long as you're curious and respectful. That's how you stay poly-minded. So, that being the case, that's what we're doing. And last thing he told me was, he said, if you have inspiration, then you need to go make a fucking mess. That's exactly what he said. And he said, you must be audacious within implementing in that. And so this is me being audacious, regardless if no one's watching, if I'm just talking to a screen, no one's even in this fucking, there's nobody in this call. There's no one here except for me. But guess what? There'll be times where there'll be thousands of people watching this. And I'm starting it off. As well as the Jungle Polyfit. No one was there, but eventually there'll be thousands of people involved in the Jungle Polyfit and everything else I do. So I'm being audacious right now. So that being the case, next, since we're in the spiritual direction, and this is have a heavy hint of spirituality, but more gives a spiritual direction with the heavy hint. I have a heavy hint of a spiritual direction with that massive relational space. That's what this shit is. And so, seeing that we're there, we're gonna get grounded and sovereign, and we're gonna do some breath work. All right. We're gonna do 4 seconds. We're gonna do 4 seconds inhale, hold at the top for 4 seconds, and then exhale for 6. Sound good? Okay. When we start up, we're gonna do 5 rounds of that, and then get after it. And the only thing I'll say about this is that whatever your object of intention to put your attention to, just make sure you bring it back to it. Whatever that is. If it's your breath, great. If it's the white noise, great. If it's your nose, great. Just bring your attention back and let your thoughts just fucking flow through you and understand that they're just there to there. Reaction doesn't need to happen. Okay? Let's do it. 5 rounds. I think I did 1 or 2 extra because it was feeling like heavenly. Doesn't that feel different though? Than when you first got in? There's a difference from showing up and arriving. And we have arrived, even though the top of the mountain is always the bottom of the next. Oh shit, dog. Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Next, We gotta understand that whatever work you're about to go into, you can work on anything and everything. You can work on your healing. You can work on your business. You can work on your art or your creative. You can work on your relational conversations. But the standard that is set here in the jungle is understanding that we are here for four. Understanding the standard is based off of four things. It's based off of your responsibility. It's based off of your curiosity. It's based off of your integrity, and it's based off of your courage. All right? Responsibility, integrity, curiosity, and courage. Now, why is that the case? Because you can't be free unless you're responsible for something or someone or yourself or your own emotions. Because the only way you're able to be free is if you're in control of. The only way you can be chilling on that fucking beach is by you being able to liberate yourself to have the responsibility of understanding what your attitudes and actions and emotions are to, and then be able to have the opportunity to get your ass on the beach. All right? But if not, you can blame, in the zoo, you can still get on the beach, but you're not going to be in the natural order of things. Simple as that. And so you have to understand that responsibility that you have. You can blame everybody else. You can blame your job. You can blame your boss. You can blame your mom. You can blame your trauma. But you will never be free if you don't have responsibility. And the integrity component, your truth. The highest truth is spirit. Spirit is the highest perfection of truth, which is the inner vibration, which is aligned with the outer frequency of whatever you believe in, whatever the higher power is for you, that's divine, to and then create what we have, the perfection of resonance. So integrity is it. And curiosity is understanding we're not here to, I'm not here to give you the answers. We're not here to get answers. You think you are, but you really are here to ask better questions. Because a lot of times when we just think we have the answers, we become closed-minded. And what you know is limited, and what you don't know is limitless. So what you don't know is limitless comes from you asking better questions. So we're here to get the opportunity to ask better questions so you can get better answers. Next is you being courageous. And that's number one. And that's the natural order of the jungle. You're going to be in the unknown and the unfamiliar and the uncertain and the unaware, and you must accept that. All right? All right? All right. That being said, that's what it is. So that is what the standard of the jungle is. So if you're here to work, work. And if you find yourself getting distracted, just bring yourself, have the opportunity to practice, the opportunity to recommit. Give yourself the compassion to recommit, please. We're all here to get after it. And so before I ask the question, I think I need to explain why I'm wearing a mask and the costumes and everything. Well, because this is what the Fight the Stigma tour is about. And you're like, what do you mean? What does that have to do with wearing a mask or anything? Well, I am dating city to city and state to state and in an open relationship with geography to do naked 5Ks and Spartan races, and I'll be wearing my pink Power Ranger suit and this mask and these events. For what? It's like, well, it's so people can give themselves the opportunity to own their story, to have the opportunity not only to own their story, but speak their truth and free themselves. So not only can liberate themselves, but liberate other people. Like, what does that have to do with you wearing a mask? Well, the only way people feel they can own their story and speak their truth for themselves is by wearing a physical mask so they can do so. And you're like, you're still not making sense. in these environments, I will be recording everything for everyone to be able to speak their truth to do so. Because the only way we're going to make change just so the world can accept not only all love is valid, the love that we have is valid, is by us gaining their attention to do so. So this does multiple different things of us being able to not hide, but to be seen and to own the narrative and hold the truth for ransom. That's why my shit's a ski mask. So we hold the truth for ransom because it forces a conversation. It gets their attention, and it makes them question why they judge. And maybe they'll judge more, but the point is so you can be able to express it through whatever your costume is, through whatever your story is. You can express that through the mask you have as well as the costume you have, so you can fucking situate yourself. So there'll be a day where we don't have to wear masks. But guess what? We have to hold the truth for ransom in the meanwhile. And so we're in the process of, if they don't allow us in the rooms, a lot of times they don't allow us in the rooms, we're going to create our own damn rooms. We're going to be the masked anti-heroes fighting for what's right until we fucking get liberated. Liberated love becomes the answer. And so that's what I'm here to do. And so we can create polyamorous community covenants across all the U.S. so we can speak and be as much as possible. I can't scream right now because I will get in trouble. But yes, so that's where we're wearing the mask. And that's where we're wearing costumes, and it's fun. And it brings the inner child out of us. It brings the naked 5-year-old that I am wearing a pink Power Ranger suit for the world to see. You know what I'm saying? So before we start the permission pools, I'm just going to ask one question. You can, and this is the intention for today, which will be pretty much for each class. It'll be asking the question, what are you giving yourself permission for today? You can put it in the chat, or you don't have to, but there's no point if you're just going to stand there and stare at us. You're here to be a student and teacher and student. All of us are here. I don't have all the answers for y'all. So you're giving yourself the permission to focus, or to grieve, or to feel horny, or to build that scary ass dream, or to stop procrastinating on that big sexy ass idea. What are you here to give yourself permission to do? All right, they'll put it in the chat and I'll respond to it. Lit. All right, beautiful. That being said, we're gonna do a 1-minute reset in about, I don't know, probably like an hour or two. It'll be midway through, maybe 11 o'clock, and then we will come back to it all. Yeah, we'll do the 1-minute reset, which is a little breath work, and then that being said, we're gonna finish at 12:30, and then we're gonna open the circle at the end. We're gonna do a relationship check-in, or we're gonna actually ask what shifted. Like, what did you work on? What did you avoid? What did you realize about yourself? And also do a relationship check-in, which I'm most excited about. Like, what did you learn about your relationship today? What did you give attention to? And did you stay loyal to your focus? And we could just talk about how you are here to fight the stigma, as well as how the stigma has affected you, and what that means. In non-monogamous world, do you tell your story, whatever that is, at the highest level, and we'll make it happen. All right, let's get after it. All right, so now this is when I'll work on my shit for the next 3 hours, 2 hours, 2.5, focus work, and then do the 1-minute reset, and then do the social component afterwards, and then we'll be good. I'm gonna do a little bit of some action actually on here. I don't know if I have. I don't. Well, regardless, this is gonna be cut up. And that was the first permission pool. I think that was like, took me 30 minutes to explain all that shit. But that's how the first permission pool will go. And we're just starting it off. I'm still getting used to wearing this mask. And I have my glasses on, which is insane. But we're about to leave here. And yeah, we have a few ideas that we're going to take action on. Just thought about some street ideas. So we have the overcoming or like challenging myself to talk to strangers about polyamory. We have that to get a little content going. I have this street idea, 2 street ideas actually, to go up to people, buy this 360 camera, and say monogamy or polyamory, and then they choose monogamy or polyamory. And then I say, oh, why is that? And maybe I debate them, maybe I don't, and then give them my card, and then have calm, grounded, and sovereign discourse with them, maybe on the sidewalk. But I'm gonna have a strap. Think of it like this: I'm gonna be strapped. I'm gonna have a waist strap, and then I'm gonna have the 360 camera from my side recording, and I'm gonna be wearing this and my cape that has the Fight the Stigma tour and all the 5 jungle missions. And then I'm gonna go up to people, monogamy, polyamory, and then start the conversation, and then have the discourse to debate, and then invite them to come and do so. Hopefully I meet some polyamorous people along the way, not just straight monogamous people, because I'll be going to war all day. But and then not only that, but I have the idea of like acting like I'm tripping, and then as I'm tripping, a few papers come out, and then one says polyamory saves the world, and then they pick it up, and I'm like, oh, how do you feel about that? And then see what that goes from there. I don't know. These are all ideas, because right now I'm thinking of all these ideas because I'm coming here, and there is the whole idea of the direction I'm going in with like the Modern Jungle podcast is, let me finish that first thought. There's no poly community here that I know about, it's hard to find. Like, it's hard to find. Eventbrite, I'm trying to find it. The Facebook groups, it's like they're there, but some of them have like 10,000 followers and no engagement. It's like, what the fuck? So I want to meet up, and there's like a Atlanta polyamory, and then it's like a support group, and it only has one person going to the support group. I'm like, what the fuck? And so I just haven't. And this is the whole problem. This is what I'm trying to create, and this is why I'm happy I'm going through this right now, because if I was just a polyamorous person coming in to travel into a city like Atlanta, I should be able to find something like the monocentric direction. You can find exactly where you want to be around the structure of people you want to be, but you can't do that within the non-monogamous dynamics. Like, I want to be able to go wherever I step into a state or city and be like, these are where the poly people are. And the thing is, what I was about to go into is what the Modern Jungle podcast is really about. Is it's about the missing piece between reckless freedom and suffocating tradition, right? And the whole point is because people don't think there is that missing piece that's allowed. And I'm making that analogy to the puzzle piece direction. People just think it's either all about sex, hookup culture with no spirit or depth or purpose, and get mine hedonism, or it's like a one-size-fits-all approach to relating and burying themselves in the depths of a version of love and a nuclear family burnout. Like, people don't, that's there's 2 views there. Like, people, I mean, you see same-sex couples and you see transgender but you really, people don't think they think they have one of those 2 choices. And so what's the missing piece? The missing piece is polyamory. And that's what I believe is the piece that's gonna make this puzzle, all this puzzle, come together. Because the puzzle right now is fucking scattered. So that being the case, yeah. Why'd I bring that up is because we need to have the opportunity to have a cultural shift where the poly world feels like they can have a space where they can speak, a space where they can have a voice and connect. And the only way that's gonna happen is if I do it. Because it's David and Goliath out here, and this shit's crazy. But as of right now, that is the first permission pools. And those 3 ideas, I'm already taking action on one, and I need to post that. Yeah. We're just trying to get the momentum going in the direction that's positive and make it work. And so, yeah, we're in this mask, kinda. I gotta open my eyes or something. I gotta, like, it's hitting my eye. It's kind of just uncomfortable. But, you know, it's more uncomfortable is not being able to speak about this at all. Going back to the comfortable savior of the zoo and working on that boat. That's what's uncomfortable, sure. But that being the case, that's that. So much love. Keep spreading it. Remember, love, energy, and truth is the answer no matter the question. And we're changing the world one person at a time, one naked, bare-ass truth at a time. And, oh yeah, remember, stay curious. Deuces. All right. All right. We definitely got to take off this mask. Okay. Yes, sir. We're about to be out. We're just going to keep this on. Fuck it. Keep this on for today. Oh, no, I can't because, well, I don't know how cold it is. Did I have an undershirt underneath this?